Hello, once again, Kenny Jacobs from Bloomington, Illinois. Going to do another video today talking about current events as it relates to Bible prophecy. And I firmly believe that God has called me to do these videos to help wake people up, to proclaim the signs of the times, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ here in these last days. And I believe that all of the videos that I've done have had a very important message. But I feel like this one is extremely important, and I ask that you would help me get the word out by sharing this video. I would say that obviously we're living in the last days, and I think that the last days, God's prophetic time clock really started ticking in 1948 when Israel became a nation. And then again in 1967 when Israel took over control of Jerusalem through the Six-Day War. And since that time, I think that we've been in what's been known as the beginning of sorrows, where we've seen natural disasters and wars and rumors of wars and pestilence and famine and all the things that we see going on right now continuing to escalate over the last several decades to the point that it's at now, which is at a rate that we've never seen before. And then I think 9/11 was another event that really sped up the process of the end times. Once America was attacked by the terrorists, it totally changed things. People started willingly giving up more and more of their constitutional rights for what they perceived to be peace and security. It's amazing what people are willing to give up if they think the government is going to protect them. And since then, since 9/11, the New World Order agenda has gained more and more momentum. The event of 9/11 is really what helped and propel us into the days we're in now with the NSA and the IRS scandals and all of the events we're seeing happen around the world. And now, and by the way, that helped us start the war on terror, which I'm going to talk a lot about in this video, the war on terror. Jesus said in Matthew 24, Luke 21, and Mark 13 that there would be wars and rumors of wars in the last days. And since September 11th, we have had nothing but wars and rumors of wars, and it's getting worse and worse and escalating in the Middle East. And then another great sign that I think that tells us we are so close to the return of Jesus Christ and the beginning of the final 7-year period of time was this past weekend when Pope Francis went to Israel. Again, Pope Francis is the first ever Jesuit pope, and he's the last pope of the Malachi prophecy. And he's working very hard at unity and bringing all the religions together. Jesus Christ said in Matthew chapter 24, verse 32 to 34, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." And I believe that that time he's talking about and the generation he's talking about was a generation that saw Israel become a nation again in 1948. In 2021, it will be 73 years since Israel became a nation. I am not setting dates. I do not believe in any date setting. I am just doing this video today to make you aware of some information and show you how close that we could be to the return of Jesus. Daniel 9:27 makes it clear the final 7-year period of time will start when the Antichrist confirms the covenant for 7 years. It also talks about how in the book of Revelation, 3.5 years into that final 7-year period of time, that the mark of the beast will be enforced, and there will be a one-world monetary system. The reason I think that's very, very important is because they're working so hard right now on this peace agreement, and first week of June, the Palestinians and the Israelis are going to be at the Vatican praying for peace. The Pope is working very hard at getting this peace agreement completed. And if it were to be signed in 2014, that would begin the final 7-year period of time. Now, what's very interesting about that is the NBC News reported this year that by 2017, all Americans will be microchipped. That's from the NBC News. I'm going to post that link into the description box, and I've done a video in the past about that. I'm also going to put another article in the description box about the Obamacare Act and how we will be required to be microchipped by 2017. It's 2014 now. So basically 3.5 years from 2014, the microchip, RFID implant, which is referred to in Revelation chapter 13, that will cause all to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, cannot buy or sell without it. Just so happens to be on the table for 2017. So I want to go over, this is a very important article. I'm going to post this in the description box too, and I really hope that you guys will share this information. This is actually a transcript of a conversation and an interview with Aaron Russo, who has since passed away, but he is a producer of the movies Trading Places and America, Freedom to Fascism, and he was befriended by David Rockefeller. And this is an excerpt of an interview from Alex Jones with Aaron Russo. And in the interview, Aaron reveals some startling information about 9/11, the Council on Foreign Relations, the global elite, and the New World Order. Now, David Rockefeller is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg Group, and the Trilateral Commission. It says the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government run by the banking industry, run the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? It says there will be no more cash. And this is given to me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all the money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally. Alex Jones replied, total control. And Russo replied, total control. And if you're like me or you and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip and you have nothing. You can't buy food, you can't do anything. It's total control of the people. And that chip is connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do and what you sell. Everything. Everything is in there, you know. And so they want a one-world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped. All their money in those chips. And they control the chips and they control the people. And you become a slave and you become a serf to these people. That's their goal. That's their intention. Alex Jones said, Aaron, can you be specific about about when you met Rockefeller and how it happened in these discussions? I met Rockefeller through a female attorney who called me one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. I said, sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him. He was a very, very smart man, and we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one that told me 11 months before, get this, 11 months before 9/11 ever happened, that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event. And out of that event, we are going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We are going to invade Iraq, you know, and take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later, 9/11 happened. And I remember he was telling me how we were going to see soldiers looking in caves for people in, Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places. And there's going to be this war on terror, which there's no real enemy. And the whole thing is a giant hoax, But it's a way for the government to take over the American people. And that's exactly what's been happening. Since 9/11 in this war on terror, more and more Americans are willingly giving up their rights and giving more control to the government out of hoping they will keep us protected. Jones said, he told you it was going to be a hoax? Oh, yeah, there's no question. He says there's going to be a war on terror, and he's laughing. There's no enemy. Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened, and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11 were able to can't lock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by our people in our own government and our own banking system, perpetuate the fear of American people and subordinating themselves into anything the government wants them to do. And again, that's exactly what's happening. That's what it's about. And to create this endless war on terror. I'm going to also put another video link to a description of another article in here that the Pentagon also says that the war on terror will never end. That was the first lie. The next lie was going into Iraq, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. That was the next lie. Jones. Now, specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago. 11 months before 9/11. Yeah. And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend over the previous years, and he's saying that that there's going to be this big event, and out of that we're going to have a war on terror, and it's just going on and on. Right. An endless war on terror, without any real enemy, so you can never define a winner. And he did say that it's going to be perfect because you can't define an enemy and the war just goes on and on. Yeah, because you can't define a winner. There's no winner, there's no one to beat, so it goes on and on forever. And they can do whatever they want. They scared the hell out of the American people. Look, the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. All right, I'm going to go ahead and post this into the description box. I highly recommend you read this article or this transcript of this interview. It's between Aaron Russo and Alex Jones, and it just goes on to show you that the RFID chip is coming, and it is for real. The New World Order is for real. The world governments are ran by the New World Order elite organizations, such as the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the UN, the Bilderberg Group. They're the ones that are setting the policies. They're the ones that are running things. And the New World Order is rising, and Pope Francis is helping it, and they're helping it along right now. We're absolutely, without a doubt, living in the last days. Please share this video. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you know you're saved. Keep looking up. All the signs that Jesus said would be here are here. It's turning soon. God bless everyone.